Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speedbuild video. And today I'm building this RV slash motorhome slash, you can even call it a camper van if you want, but I don't think that's the technical term. Or caravan if you want to say, but I like to think of it as an RV or a motorhome because those ones are like the mega ones, like the mega ones, because I've made a camper van before, I've made a caravan before, but I haven't necessarily made anything like that. I also want to make a trailer one day as well, but the reason why it's a motorhome and not a trailer or a camper van is because I'm on my celebrity save file. Now, if you don't know, because you're new to the channel or something, hi, welcome. But this is my I have different types of save files. I don't think I will ever publish them just because they are such a random mix of CC that I feel like it'll be just so strenuous to anyone to download them. But I have different types of save files, and one of them is called the celebrity save file. And I do that just because on my old computer, I used to have just everything at once. It was fantasy, it was British, it was American, it was celebrity, it was Australian, it was everything. But now I've generated different save files for different types of playing abilities I like to do. And this is my celebrity one, where every single sim that I control is a celebrity within the save file of some sort. And the celebrities within this save file actually are a random mix. I'll tell you a little bit more about the Sims that live in this house. But all weekend, I decided in order to keep up with my mental health when it comes to uploading videos and applying for jobs, I'll just spend the weekend reading books and just playing The Sims for leisure. Because as much as I complain about videos sometimes, I really do love The Sims, and I just decided to play for leisure and just like really update my game and see how things are going with it. So as I was doing that during this weekend, I was particularly focusing on my celebrity save file because they were starting to, because I play in short lifespan, and they were starting to age, and there was no babies being made, no lineages being continued, and I was like, okay, I need to really update everyone, make sure everyone is like getting up to date. There are certain Sims that I created way back then. Like there's this one Sim from my New York one that I'm going to remake just because that one had a lot of CC in it and is basically unplayable because I never uploaded it and I will never upload it to the gallery. But I made this one Sim there, and it was going to be her big dream to be an actress and everything, but I just ended up forgetting about her and ended up controlling all my other Sims, and now she's an elderly Sim. And then that's made me realize that I really need to just look after my Sims in the game. So that's what ended up bringing me here to end up playing with my celebrity save file the entire week and really updating everyone and seeing that there's different types of Sims I have to do. If you recognize, which you probably won't because I chopped half her hair off and she's wearing a different outfit, but there is one Sim within this game that also, do you know what I've realized as well? Is a particular issue is that I love using skin details. It really just elevates the game from 0 to 100 when it comes to creating Sims. But the problem is that they were aged, but they were still quite young, and depending on what type of skin details you have, it won't really do justice to what age they are. So the Sim in this video is the same Sim I used to create my housing, my student housing, not the square one, but the one that was kind of like half octagonal, half hexagonal. It had 2 slanted rooms and stuff like that. Like she had her own private room and all that. And it was the Sim that had to hug her parent. It's all the way back then, but she had to hug her parent before she goes off to university, and that was the Sim that I used in this. Now, she went off to university as a young adult. I left the university for the entirety of a young adult. She is now an adult. Her brother, her big brother, is turning into an elderly Sim, like I think today actually, and he has kids with his wife, which also you might also recognize her from the sushi restaurant because I also used her sister-in-law and her brother in the sushi restaurant as well. They're the ones who are having dinner together. But yeah, everyone's like starting to, like, my main core Sims that I would play with, that started to turn into elderly Sims. So I was just like, okay, I need to really update everyone, make sure everyone's loving them, babies continuing in those lineages. So I decided that's what I was going to do here. And I was really like confused on what I was going to do with her because she's just such a she was just, I don't know, she was just such like all over the place. She was someone that wanted to do a bit of everything. She was a student at one point. She stayed at home with her brother at one point. She explored the world at one point. She never really had a base of what she wanted to do. So instead of trying to manipulate that into something particular, I decided, you know what? She comes from a very affluent family. I mean, like her house is like, her household is probably one of the richest within this game. Like, I mean, 9.999999999 simoleon's kind of rich, and yeah, half of it is cheated. But if you want to know what kind of business they get into, it's something regarding base metal. That is her family business. So she's always been kind of spirited and stuff like that. But in the sense of base metal, it's nothing like hardcore base metal. It's the light stuff. It's the grass kind of stuff. So that's what basically her family's business is within the celebrity stream. Just because I've noticed a lot of celebrities do that kind of thing, and I was just like, that's where they get it from. It's this family. So they're one of the most affluent families within my entire game. And she just didn't want anything to do with that. She wanted to do her own thing, and she felt a bit lost and she felt a little bit confused. So I thought, you know what, it'll be kind of interesting if she carries on with that. So instead of manipulating it, I adhered to what my sim wanted. First time for everything. And I allowed her to live in this RV/motorhome with her significant other. Her significant other is the firstborn son of the two models who were in that fashion build that I made before, where she was a model, he was like her design and stuff like that. That's their firstborn son, and they're married together. They live in this motorhome. So I thought that was a really, really cute idea. However, as much as I adore this home, it came out beautifully, and I feel like there's only going to be more to come. I've never had so much fun building such a unique type of build, because I really do struggle sometimes with the creativity side, Shakara. And this time around, I really was just having so much fun creating it. So I was like, I'm definitely going to do more of these, because the original style I wanted to do was like the marble kind of futuristic motorhome, but it wasn't really working out. It kind of looked a bit bland. So I'll have to do that in another type of motorhome, so expect more RVs in the future. And this time around, I decided to do it a bit closer to the basic sides and everything like that. And as much as I had fun doing this, and this is such a perfect little build for them and their family, what they practice is not something I particularly preach in real life. And I mean, that is The Sims. The Sims is you doing certain things in the game that you wouldn't necessarily do in real life. I mean, half the time we're just off in our Sims at any which corner. And I don't think any of us would off any human being in real life, but we do it in The Sims. So the particular thing that she decided to do is that she now has an RV with the motorhome, with her family and everything like that. And she belongs with her family. And that is not a good thing to do in real life, because it can be very exploitative, and it can also be a very big breach of privacy, especially when you are moving around and you've got a very noticeable, very distinctive house that anyone at any point can, because it's not like you live in a gated area or an area with high security, and it's not like it's a stationary area where you kind of have to bring people over for them to notice. It's an area where you go around the country and they can probably tell this is where this type of vlogger lives. And obviously the very close unit essence of the whole RV motorhome style, where the bedrooms, I think you saw within the cinematic intro, the kids' room is just an extension of the living room. They don't even have an actual door. No one has actual doors. The only things that have doors is the doors to the ladder, which is wild, and the doors to get out of the RV, and then a door to the bathroom. That's like the only kind of doored off area. Everything else is either banisters or just open instant access, because the doors, I would imagine, unless they're sliding and we don't have a single tile sliding door, would be very inefficient in a tight space such as a motor house / RV. And with what I've noticed additionally is that, so there's a huge lack of privacy. And then she's also vlogging everything. The teenager's room is extended upwards. So what goes on, I'll talk a little bit more on it when I'm actually doing it. But the teenager's room, master bedroom, and there's also another spare room, are up on the kitchen level. So basically, if you were cooking anything in the kitchen, you will smell it. And if for whatever reason, as you are driving, you hit a massive bump or something like that, you may just roll over your bed into the kitchen floor, which is quite dangerous. And then also there's just the aspect of what happens with the kids room is that when they eventually turn into a teenager, that room will no longer be accessible for a child. And you might just have to, I don't even know what you're going to do in that room. You might need to just, actually, I don't even know, because that room, I had it in mind for a toddler and a child just because I needed to raise up the platforms from where the tires were, as you saw. It's the same reason why I did the whole console area, the driver's area, driver and co-driver area as a raised up platform as well, just to cover the tires. And you're probably thinking, but we have singular tires. You could have used the singular tires instead of these like roundabout tires, these multiple tires. I've tried to, because I've used quite a bit of tool to make it look like an actual RV. Because originally what I was going to do, I was going to add like a car on the side of it. But then I thought about it and I was like, it would be actually really cool if I could just make the entire thing an RV rather than make it look like an RV / camper van adjacent kind of thing. I wanted to make it a full out RV motor house. So I just turned the entire thing into the actual drivable thing. And there is different aspects. If any engineers are looking at this and they're like, this would not actually function as an RV, it's the Sims babe. But let me explain it just in case that the technical things that really harp on the realism of this build is, first of all, there will be more tires than there are, like not internal tires, but exterior tires. And they won't be as close to the front and the rear as there would be as the amount of RVs and the motor houses I looked at. The tires are closer inwards to create a sense of balance within the RV and the motor house, because if they're quite outside, it leans a bit more imbalance. And if you're going to have quite a lot of wheels close to the front and rear, you're going to have another set closer to the middle again for balance, because with how big this is, and especially with the additional units on top, because a lot of RVs can be one floor, but I decided to do like a mega one which has another one on top. It will cave in the middle if you don't put extra tires in order to allow it to balance. It will cave in the middle. So that's a thing that if you're an engineer or you're just someone that can sense, look at a build and just be like, this is something that just doesn't entirely fit here. That's probably why you feel a bit like, oh, this doesn't entirely fit here. It's because there should be extra wheels in the middle. Another thing is that where the stairs are at, I wanted to bring the build closer forward just for aesthetic purposes only, because the light was not shining properly on the RV the way I needed it to because of the other houses on the area where this is placed in. So I brought it to the front, but since I brought it to the front, the stairs weren't going to come out the way they needed to come out. In an RV, they will come out straight out. They don't normally come out to the side out, but I had to make them to the side out so they could actually fit in front of the house without, saying, oh, you're too close to the front lot and stuff like that. So that's another aspect that you probably would have noticed and probably thought, oh, this isn't that great. This is breaking my realism. Also, what I've noticed with a lot of RVs is that they don't actually have ladders. They have stairs. But again, the Sims, it would not have allowed me the space to put stairs. It just would have been too janky and too awkward and took up way too much space. So I just didn't do that. So sorry for that. For whatever reason, I told you guys before, I run almost everything on my laptop on an SSD just because my laptop has no memory for anything, and I really should be taking everything off of my laptop from uni onto a hard drive instead of running everything on the said hard drive, said SSD, I mean. But like, I have to do that soon because my recording just crashed and it was like stuck on the dinner area. So I had to try and figure out which angle I'm supposed to place that SSD in order for it to actually fit. But anyways, I digress. I didn't want to mess with stairs because there was just going to be a lot of effort. And another thing you might have also noticed out of that you're in a realisticness is being quite tinged at the thought is this tinged or singed? Is something like that. It's quite like unnerved by the thought or irked is the entrance to the teenager's room, you have to go through the master's bedroom, which is another reason why I said that. As much as I love doing this in The Sims, and it's a really cool concept to do in The Sims in real life, that is, again, a really big breach of privacy. Because for anyone, because also another entrance is you have to go through the master bedroom to go into the bathroom. You have to go through the master's bedroom to go to anywhere within this house. So, it can be quite difficult like that. You can rearrange some things, so you can change where the living room is, and you can actually put that where the master's bedroom is and put the master bedroom on the first floor. But then it's just like, either way, someone is going to have to go through someone's bedroom to access another bedroom. And these are things I used to do in The Sims when I was building for myself, because I just did not get it. I was like, no one wants realism. I don't need the realism. So I used to just make everyone's room accessible by someone else's room and whatever. But within this RV, I was like, oh, it really sucked because I didn't want to do that. But it's the only way I was going to be able to fit it in the way that I needed to do. And I know you might be thinking, couldn't you just lower down the platform to the end room? Because I've put 2 beds there. There's a toddler bed, there's a kid's bed. And then there's obviously upstairs, this master bedroom and the teenage room. You can put so many family members in this RV. But I was like, again, I can't know the platform. The only thing I could particularly do is probably raise the wall height, but then it will just look too tall. And apparently I have my limits towards realism, and making the build a little too tall is one of my biggest limits to realism. Actually, I really like the way this bed looked and this design looked. Why did I change that? I think I was just kind of looking more towards this, very homey kind of, very old, maybe like late 2000s kind of thing. So maybe that's why I did that like that again. I always just look back on my videos and I'm like, why did I do that? I like that thing better. Another thing about this build is that, so since no one has like any direct privacy, everyone just has curtains. If you want privacy, you have curtains, but that does not stop noise cancellation or anything like that. So your privacy will be breached in some form and some way. But besides that, it is a fun thing. You could also just change it from a residential into a vacation lot, and you can place it literally anywhere. It's a 20 by 15, so it will fit almost anywhere on. God, it's crashing. What I'm going to do is that instead of trying to load it back up until I'm ready to actually render it, I'm just going to finish off. I know that it's around about like 18 minutes of recording, so I'm just going to let myself talk for another minute. But yeah, the only privacy you get is through the curtains. And yeah, beyond that, I really like how it came out. And I love the skylight I put it in. Like, there is a lot of light here, but like I said, it's 20 by 15, so you can really put it anywhere. And you can change it into a vacational lot, and you can use it for your Sims to do it as a vacational thing rather than like a strictly residential thing. And I think the storytelling abilities in this build is amazing. I really, can you tell I really like how this came out? I really do like how this came out. And I was struggling originally when it came to the lights, because I was like, I want to change them so they look like red lights, so they look like brake lights. Only to realize I had headline effects off. So if you guys use Tool and you're wondering, why can I not change the lights of anything, whether it's in build mode or real life mode, it's because you probably have headline effects off. And when you have that off, it won't allow you to change the color of any of the lights. And if you don't know what headline effects are, headline effects is just basically the plumb bob at the top and any kind of like thought bubbles, or do we even have thought bubbles in The Sims 4? I have headline effects off so often I don't even know what's going on above my Sims heads besides me. But yeah, but you're probably thinking, just to round off this video, you're probably thinking, okay, so she's from a very affluent family. He's from a very affluent family. I mean, his parents are literally models. His siblings are married to like aristocrats and are models as well. This RV, it's very different. RVs and motor houses can be $1 million a piece. And that's like me being on the cheaper side. They can cost up to $2 million. I was watching these tours on YouTube and I was hearing people say $2.5 million motor house, $2.5 million RV. Let's tour my $3 million RV. And I'm like, you've got $3 million to spend on an RV, and this is purely an American thing. Now, I know we have caravans in the UK, but the thing is you will never be able to put it anywhere because the roads are so small in the UK. This is purely American thing. And I was just like, these mega houses, mega RVs, the 1 million. And a lot of people I've noticed who have these RVs also have $1 million houses. So it is quite a rich thing. And that is why it's on the celebrity save file, because you have to have a lot of money to be able to have that. So yeah, that's why I did it the way that I did it. And you know what? I wouldn't mind being an RV. I don't like to travel, but I like to stay inside and to have a portable house where I can change the scenery from ocean front to forest to everything like that. I like the appeal of being able to change what you look outside of your window for. So maybe in another life, not this life, I would like to have an American RV. But again, I don't think for my entire life I would enjoy that. And to have to spend $1 million on something you only want for maybe like 5 years of your life, I don't think it's very financially smart for me. But anyway, the video is going to end and I'm still rambling on about my nonsense. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy it. I really hope you guys enjoy it. And if you like stuff like this, you can also go into my YouTube channel where I've also made a camper van, if that's more your niche, but I've also made a canal boat if you want to do kind of like an RV on the water kind of thing. But yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But if you don't want to, that's also okay. I appreciate you staying this long and listening to all of my rambles. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. I read all of your comments, the more the merrier. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.